What are some interesting or fun Christmas traditions you follow? We had an old friend who was perfect for playing the Santa. The kids and I loved his antics and dance. He unfortunately passed away a year ago after being in a terrible accident. We give him a tribute by talking to his parents on Christmas, us friends drinking together and dancing for his favorite songs with his signature steps. Although we can't meet up this year, we've set up a Zoom call and ordered Christmas caps and fake beards online. We're pretty sure that idiot is still rocking the costume somewhere far away from us. We miss him every Christmas. Every year my family buys each other member a gag/joke/small gift, then writes a poem about it, for the recipient to read on Christmas Eve. It's probably the highlight of the entire season for me, as it's always filled with laughter at how terrible we all are at poetry. No matter how old we all get, this is a really fun way to bring everyone back to that root joy of spending time together. This year it will be virtual, but still fun. Growing up we always went to the movies on Christmas Eve and saw 3 to 5 movies. I guess it started when my brother was in a church pageant at night and they wanted to keep us distracted all day so he would be awake for the pageant. The logic doesn't seem great now that I have kids of my own, but it was really fun and made the day go by quickly when all I could think about is Christmas morning. My parents still go to the movies together on Christmas Eve, although this year things will be different. Rococo Pandoro Strufili Panettone Pan 40. And #X200B. Any of them you'll Google, you won't be disappointed. Sincerely, Italy. A tradition we had when I was a child, and one I'll be continuing with my children when I have them, is the Christmas Eve box. For Christmas Eve, we were given one gift early, and it was a box with Christmas pajamas, a mug, hot chocolate mix, popcorn, and a Christmas movie. We would get to open it around lunchtime, and we'd spend the rest of the evening in our new jammies having cocoa and movies together. Edited to say, please don't steal Christian's pajamas, he needs those. In the south of France where my dad and his family grew up, this tradition of the 12 desserts of Christmas, we used to do it when my grandma was alive because she loved this tradition and we're trying to keep it alive. You just have to bake, cook or prepare 12 different desserts, ranging from almond paste stuffed dates to piles of cookies, and eat them at Christmas Eve, but it usually lasts way longer than that. Growing up, my dad would pop cinnamon rolls in the oven and have a smoke as the coffee brewed. We'd eat 20 minutes later, then crack open the gifts under the tree. Now that I'm an adult, I keep doing the same every year. I make waffles for Christmas breakfast before opening presents. Well, I am starting my own Christmas tradition this year. From now on everyone eats tacos and gets pajamas Christmas Eve. Then Christmas morning the kids get to open gifts and then we have pancakes. Have Baileys on my cornflakes. My grandmother gave us a blow-up Santa in an outhouse. My family thought it would look weird in our yard, so now we prank friends on Christmas Eve by putting it on the front door and waiting for them to see it. Edit, I checked Reddit this morning and this is the most upvotes I have ever gotten. Thank you. I know my family isn't the only one, but we have a huge party Christmas Eve. We wait till midnight then open our presents. I come from a big family so it's always chaos every year and so fun. So sad it ain't happening this year. My daughter was born this year and won't see them all with her. Wife and I order from the same Chinese restaurant every Christmas Eve. We eat from there almost exclusively on Christmas Eve. We don't do much Chinese through the year regularly. Started one Christmas Eve when we were both feeling lazy and hasn't stopped. 12 plus years now. I watch the Muppets Christmas Carol every single year, been doing that for the last 25 years and I plan on continuing to do so. We meet up with some friends in a park and launch model rockets while drinking hot chocolate or coffee with booze, been going on for over 20 years. I get the pole out of the crawl space and put it in the living room. Decoration not required, I find tinsel too distracting. On Christmas Eve we open one present each, then the rest on Christmas Day. Me and my little cousin go to my nan's to decorate her Christmas cake with a bunch of little decorations she has for it. Instead of placing them and decorating it normally, we put the decorations in weird and wacky situations. Examples include Santa getting his ass sniffed by a polar bear, carol singers getting assaulted with snowballs, a tree crushing someone, and robins crapping on people. Deleted. I watch the 1938 Christmas Carol every year. My uncle always hosts Christmas at his house since family comes from all over and he has beds for everyone to stay over. On his property is about an 150-foot diameter pond. Every Christmas morning we wake up and build a giant bonfire to get ready for the impending shock we will feel later on around noon. We also try to get a decent drunk blanket going, for those that are of our family's required drinking age, just in case. Come noon on Christmas Day, we do the polar plunge to rid ourselves of last year's crap and look forward to next year. We huddle around this bonfire while my grandpa passes around shots to help warm up because that pond is fucking freezing. Edit, told my uncle about how a lot of you seem interested in this and he said if you guys don't have plans next year or are alone feel free to come. He only asks to bring a tent/sleeping bag and a treat for their German shepherds. My great-grandfather was making a Christmas ham many years ago and while taking it out of the oven my great-grandmother's water broke and he dropped it. So now every year we have a ham lol. We put a stuffed gorilla on our tree. I don't know how many people do this, but we look for the Christmas pickle every year. It's a German tradition where a pickle was hung in the tree somewhere and whomever found it first gets an extra present from Santa or a year of good fortune. We have an ornament of the pickle and whomever finds it gets to open the first present. Edit, apparently it might not German but it's still fun and it doesn't matter where it's from. My gifts are either wrapped intricately or lazily and no one ever knows how I'll wrap them until day of. If I'm being lazy, I'll throw them in garbage bags and put some Christmas looking string and stickers all over it so it looks festive. If it's in a box, I write invisible gift wrap on the box and might tape it up with some festive tape. Everyone gets these. If it's intricate, then you're getting a gift that's complicated to open. I'll make it look like it's wrapped normally, but then you'll get to celebrate duct tape mass. The key to make it fun is that there's always a way to open them safely, so it only looks super complicated. You also often need a knife, so it's normal now for one of my brothers to have one Christmas morning just in case. I watch The Hobbit and Lord of Rings trilogies every year around Christmas. Deleted. Stealing a tree from a tree lot on Christmas Eve. I call it the reverse Grinch. My family gets Chinese food for Christmas Eve. I think it's rooted in laziness in terms of cooking and that it was one of the few places open on Christmas Eve. Every year I watch the 1966 Chuck Jones version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's now at the point where Christmas doesn't really feel like Christmas until I watch it, and also where I can recite it entirely from memory. Leaving whiskey and mince pie for Santa and a carrot for Rudolph. Reading The Night Before Christmas all tucked up in bed. Having a chocolate selection box for breakfast on Christmas morning. I'm 29 and still keep these up, can't wait to pass them down. Every Christmas Eve, I listen to Dope Smoker before going to sleep. I'd quite just started doing it 1 year and now it's a tradition. Not a family tradition, as much as it's something that I just decided everyone has to do a few years ago. Everyone makes plates for someone else in the family. No one is allowed to get food and drinks for themselves. It reminds my kids that even little gestures show appreciation for those around you, and to not be selfish when it comes to making others feel loved. NORAD tracks Santa. Edit, the Google Santa tracker is also really fun. New tradition, Dodge COVID, D. And hashtag X200B. I don't know that we have too many specific traditions other my mom and I compete to be the first to say Christmas gift in the morning, some odd southern tradition that she taught us. Christmas Eve used to be cozy but now, mom sits in her bedroom and watches Fox News and dad falls asleep on the couch watching some college football on the telly. I think the day off, Christmas dinner has become more important than gifts now that we are a lot older. Turkey, dressing, green bean casserole, collard greens, and my dad runs out to find a pecan pie for dessert a few days ahead of time. Twice baked potatoes and prime rib. That's all the tradition I need. We always get pizza from a specific place on Christmas Eve. The decor hasn't changed since we started going there in the 80s, but the pizza has remained awesome. It's comforting to sit in the booths with the ripped vinyl covers.